Chapter 34, A Night to Remember. The Crypto.com arena shone like a beacon in the Los Angeles night, its massive LED displays announcing the 72nd Grammy Awards to the world. Inside, the atmosphere was electric, a collision of glamour, artistry, and high-stakes ambition. The elite of the music industry filled the space, dressed in designer gowns and sharp tuxedos, exchanging air kisses and practiced smiles. On stage, the evening's host, a picture of poise and practiced charm, held the golden envelope in his hands, the spotlight framing him like a figure out of myth. The anticipation in the room was palpable. And the Grammy for Live Concert Recording of the Year goes to... The host paused dramatically, the silence amplifying every held breath. Finally, he looked up, his grin widening. Cody Steele and the Echoes for Echoes of Redemption. The explosion of applause was instantaneous, a thunderous wave of cheers and clapping that reverberated through the arena. At a table near the front, Karen Day froze. For a moment, the world seemed to narrow to just her, the words Cody Steele echoing in her ears. PJ leapt from his chair, fists pumping the air as he shouted, "Yes! Yes!" He grabbed Karen by the shoulders, shaking her lightly. "Get up, Karen! Go!" Karen stood slowly, the surreal weight of the moment sinking in. Her sleek black gown shimmered under the lights as she made her way to the stage, her hands trembling, but her steps steady. The crowd's applause surged as she climbed the steps, a mix of respect and admiration rippling through the audience. At the podium, Karen took the Grammy, its weight grounding her in the moment. She turned to the microphone, blinking back tears as she steadied herself. "Thank you," she began, her voice soft but clear. "Thank you so much. On behalf of my father, Cody Steele, and the Echoes, we are deeply honored to accept this award." A hush fell over the room as she paused, her fingers brushing the golden surface of the Grammy. "My father couldn't be here tonight," Karen continued, her voice breaking slightly. "But his spirit is here. His music is here. And what you've all recognized tonight is more than an album. It's a journey. It's redemption." The audience, now riveted, leaned into her words. "My father, Cody Steele, is a man who fell hard, who lost his way, and who fought like hell to find it again. Through music, he found his voice, his purpose, and his hope. Echoes of Redemption is more than a collection of songs. It's a testament to the power of second chances." Karen's composure faltered for a moment as tears welled in her eyes. She glanced down, took a breath, and looked back up, her gaze unwavering. "I'm proud," she said, her voice steady now. "Proud to be Cody Steele's daughter. Proud of the man he's become, and proud of the music that's touched so many lives." She held the Grammy aloft, her arm firm and resolute. "This is for you, Dad. We love you." The crowd erupted into a standing ovation. The sound was deafening, a roar of approval and admiration that seemed to lift the room. Karen stepped back, her head held high, the Grammy gleaming in her hand. Meanwhile, hundreds of miles away, inside the walls of the Ouachita River Correctional Unit, the celebration was no less raucous. The small TV room was packed to capacity, inmates jostling for position as the Grammy broadcast played on a flickering screen. Cody sat in the center, surrounded by his bandmates, Ramon, Jimmy, and Tucker, all craning their necks to catch every word. When Karen's voice rang out, "This is for you, Dad," the room erupted. Inmates cheered, clapped, and hollered, the sound bouncing off the cold, gray walls. Jimmy let out a whoop, throwing an arm around Tucker's shoulders. Ramon stood, clapping Cody on the back so hard it almost knocked him off his chair. But Cody stayed still, his eyes locked on the screen. Tears streamed freely down his weathered face, his expression a mixture of pride, disbelief, and something deeper, something he hadn't felt in years. "That's your girl," Ramon said, his voice low and warm. Cody nodded, his voice a whisper. "That's my girl." For a moment, the prison faded. The guards, the fluorescent lights, the unrelenting weight of time, all of it disappeared. Cody wasn't an inmate anymore. He was a father, a musician, a man who had clawed his way back from the brink and found his voice again. As the broadcast moved on, the celebration in the TV room continued, Inmates who rarely spoke to Cody now clapped him on the back, offering nods of respect and words of congratulations. Jimmy leaned in, his grin as wide as the Mississippi. "You hear that, Cody? Grammy winner Cody Steele. That's got a nice ring to it." Cody chuckled, shaking his head. "It's not about the Grammy," he said quietly. "It's about her, about Karen. She's what matters." Tucker clapped him on the shoulder. "You earned this, man. Every note, every word. You earned it." Cody smiled, the warmth of the moment settling over him. For the first time in years, the walls around him didn't feel so oppressive, the ceiling didn't feel so low, and the world outside didn't seem so far away. His music had reached beyond these walls, touching lives he'd never imagined. But in that moment, surrounded by his bandmates and the echoes of Karen's words still ringing in his ears, Cody knew this wasn't just his redemption, it was theirs, and it was only the beginning.